Good evening. This meeting of the Caldwell County Board of Education is called to order here on the 11th day of October 2021. We're happy that you have taken some time out to join us at this meeting. We know that there's going to be some recognitions that a number of you have come for, and we look forward to that as we always do. First thing, I'd like to turn it over to fellow board member and Vice Chair Mrs. Teresa Branch for invocation for the board.
Good evening. Thank you to all members of the Caldwell County Schools team. We sincerely appreciate every effort you make to take care of the social, the emotional, and the academic needs of students. And thank you to the parents who choose Caldwell County Schools as the educational home for your children. It's truly an honor to serve, support, and educate. Let's all please pause for a moment of silence. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Branch. Next item on the agenda is our Pledge of Allegiance tonight, being led by our Associate Superintendent, Dr. Jeff Church. The flag is at the rear of the room.
Please join me in the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Church. Next on the agenda is the approval of the agenda, which the board has had an opportunity to review for a few days here. Do I hear a motion we approve the agenda as submitted?
I'll make the motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Is there a second?
Second the motion.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay, next is a series of minutes, and we're going to vote collectively one time, but we have minutes from August the 2nd, 2021. That was a work session that the board was involved with. And also on that same day, September the 2nd, was the general session minutes, closed session minutes, and general account. We also had on the 13th of September a regular board meeting and the minutes from that. Also on that date, the 13th of September, we had closed session minutes and general account. And on September 23rd, the emergency meeting with minutes. And also on that same day, a closed session with minutes and general account. Do I hear a motion that we approve the September 2021 minutes and general account? That would be items 3B through 3G.
Chairman Pennell, I make a motion we approve the minutes for September 2021 minutes and general accounts items 3B through 3G.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And that motion passes. Next, we have announcements. We have now Mr. Becker, who's going to do that. He had to be gone. He had a family event that he was going to be at, so I'm going to call on BJ4 to do our general board announcements.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. October 15th is Early College and CASA Early Release Day. The Hall of Honor celebration will be October 18th at 7 o'clock at the Civic Center. The board will do school visits on October 26th, Kings Creek, High Brighton, Lower Creek, and William Lenore, starting at 8 a.m. on the 26th. October 22nd is an early release day for traditional schools. The board work session is November 2nd at 8 a.m. here at the Ed Center, and the next board meeting will be November 8th at 6 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Four. Next, we have announcements from our superintendent, Dr. Don Phipps.
Mr. Chairman. want to share that our board had the opportunity to do some walkthroughs in recent weeks. We were able to go to Horizons, West Lenore, Valmead, and Happy Valley. And the level of student engagement and just awesome teaching that's going on is just incredible to see. And I know COVID has taken many things away, and I think folks feel like it's tainted experiences in many ways, but what we saw that day is typical of what happens every day in our buildings, and it's just a testimony to our students and our staff for the hard work that's going on, and our students and parents who were having children there. We were grateful to see that. The other thing that I wanted to mention, this is an email that we received about a partner who's been in our community providing a service that is no longer going to be able to do that, and I want to take a moment to just say thank you. And this is to the United Methodist Women's Shoe Fund. This is affiliated with the Mount Hermon United Methodist Church. They've been providing shoes to our students since 1992. And this was in response to a mission study challenge that they looked for a local project to take on. And in this period of time, they've provided 6,228 pairs of shoes. They've spent almost $125,000 that they've raised to provide the funds. Again, this has been going on for 29 years. I spoke to Ms. Barbara Hart last week, and she asked me to extend an appreciation to our social workers who've helped make the program run exceedingly efficient, in her words. But she said not to be concerned that students were not going to suffer. There's a Bernhardt Shoe Fund, and we have other projects that are in our community that are working to do the same types of things. This is just one example of the many partners in our community that allow us to do the things that we do, and we're so grateful for them. But to all those involved in this particular project, we say thank you and wish you well as you carry out future endeavors.
Thank you, Dr. Phipps. Next, we have our honors and recognitions segment of the meeting tonight. We know a number of you have come for that. And I'm going to call on Mrs. Libby Brown to lead us through this part of the agenda. And we have some certificates and medals to hand out. And Dr. Phipps will hand out certificates, and I'll be down there to hand out the medals.
Thank you, Chairman Pennell, Vice Chairman Branch, board members, and Dr. Phipps. So I just want to say it makes the heart feel good to see our students back in the boardroom. And so we feel like we're moving in a good upward direction for our school district to be able to bring them here and to honor and recognize you. And we will do it safely. That way, we don't have all the board members down the front like we typically do, but we do have Dr. Phipps, our superintendent, and our chairman, Daryl Pennell. And we're excited to be recognizing art. So that's another thing we're bringing back from last year. We weren't able to do our Education Center Art Gallery, so we are now going to highlight some of our high school students from West Caldwell High School. And Dabney Smith, if you'd like to come up, the art teacher, she is here. So you too, if you'd like to help Daryl Pennell or just hand out medallions or whatever you would like to do, just be there with your art students. Okay. So you are going to receive a certificate of appreciation from the Board of Education and a medallion. So we hope that you recognize what talent that you have and that you continue on with your artistic abilities. We are going to start with Alyssa Smith, and Alyssa is a junior at West Caldwell High School. And you can see her beautiful artwork here in the PowerPoint. So Alyssa Smith is in our Education Center Art Gallery, the first student for 2021-22. Okay. Okay, so we can hand that off to Mrs. Smith. And we have Lillian Martin, who is a senior. So I think Lillian is here. And here's Lillian. We have Malik Patterson. Malik is he's
got basketball,
yes.
I believe. Yes. So Malik, I'll give it to him.
Yes, So, and this is true to form for our high school students. They're very involved. And so Malik, we're very proud of him and his artwork. So you can see that. And tell us just a minute of what these are as we're going through this list. These are self-portraits, correct?
With masks. So, I mean, we have all been going through such a hard time the last, year and a half through this pandemic. And this is not easy for any of us. It's hard to teach and it's hard for the students. And you know, it's frankly emotional. Like, this has been a crazy experience, and what better way to deal with our emotions than to make art about it? That's like our job as artists, is to process this crazy time we're living in as part of history. So hopefully we won't be wearing these forever, but it was a good opportunity for us to make self-portraits and masks. And hey, we didn't have to draw our nose or our mouth, so that was easier, but we really focused on the eyes. And you know, showing emotion with our eyes and how are we feeling. So you'll see a lot of that emotion in their pieces.
Well, thank you, thank you. Jennifer Velasquez, Junior from West Caldwell High School.
And I don't think Jennifer could be here either.
Okay. Tiana Clark, sophomore from West Caldwell High School.
Tiana's working tonight, I think. A lot of them have jobs after school.
And that's a good thing, so we're proud of them. Liliana Carson, I know she is here, freshman.
Liliana, there she is.
Yes. Madison Rhodes. Madison is also from West Caldwell High School, a junior.
Let's see. Anderson's here. Got one on the screen, yeah?
Okay.
Good job.
Okay. We're going to get to him. Okay. So is that okay? Clark Anderson. We'll
And
go
then
with
Anderson,
him.
yep.
We'll go with him next. His is second from the bottom there.
Anderson.
Okay.
Madison, okay.
Madison Rhodes.
Yep, she's not here either, sorry,
Okay.
Madison's not here, but, that last one, let's see, Brianna Collins.
Okay.
Where's Brianna? There.
Brianna
No.
here.
One more.
Other way. Other way.
See, this gives us a chance to look at all the beautiful art again, this is great. Aren't they wonderful?
Oh, yes, yes.
There's Brianna's.
Brianna. Is Brianna here?
Yep, Brianna's here.
She's last. She's at the bottom. And we know Madison couldn't be here. Madison Rhodes could not be here. What about Emma Stein? Is Emma here?
Emma's not here
Okay.
either.
And we have Jace Bumgarner.
Soccer, yeah,
Soccer.
they're busy.
And then we have one more, Allison Arialana.
Oh, Allison, yeah, she's not here either, she has driver's ed.
Okay, well,
It's hard being a high school student.
there's clubs, there's work.
They're very
We
busy.
are happy that our students are active and involved, and we're actually, the more active and the more involved you are, then really the more you expand yourself, and they are now being recognized tonight for these honors. So, can we bring them?
If we do a photo
Can we
with
do
all
a
the
group
artists.
photo?
If they would, just
And Craig
get in
Skyward
here.
is with us, principal.
Thank you so much. All right, perfect. Yeah, you wanna come over here and we can hold our
So we're gonna try to get
honors.
some photographs here. We know that the board members, this is kind of experimental because we just started back doing this in person. So if you want, yeah, that's a good idea. Stand up.
Perfect, looking good, everybody. Smile, just
That's
right.
James, you want us to get, we're good?
Jess, you wanna come in? Okay, good.
I'm smiling.
Prove it. Congratulations.
Thank you. Okay, we're also going to reintroduce another first that we were doing via Zoom, so now they're in person, and that's our character education traits. and the representatives of those from the 3 different grade levels, elementary, middle, and high school. So we're going to start with the character trait of August, which was determination. You know, we only had a week in August, so we are going to do 2 months tonight, August and September. And for determination, we're going to start with our elementary representative, Noah. And Noah is here with his parents, and his parents tell me he never gives up. And before he started preschool, he was determined to learn how to tie his shoes, and he did it even before he started preschool. And I think he was the only one in his preschool class who started school knowing how to tie his shoes. So he is very determined. He's from Collegeville School, and Jill Pippin is the principal. So let's give Noah a big There's Noah's right there on top. And I'm going to
Good job.
Our middle school student representative for determination is Ederson Villalobos, and he's from Hudson Middle School. He has Katie Elliott, his principal. Katie, you want to come up with it? From Hudson Middle School, and he also has an entourage of teachers here with him today. They really believe in you. One teacher told me she'd like to clone you 100 times over. He is new to the state, and he is new to Caldwell County. And he always has questions, inquisitive. You're engaged in the classroom, you want to learn, and you have a determination about you that we wish was just contagious. We love that kind of contagious, so that determination. So I'm very proud of you. Would you like to say anything else?
Ederson's an amazing student. Sometimes we get an email from teachers in all caps with the exclamation points. It's either very good or very bad. So these are very good emails. We have Ms. Martin and Ms. Coleman with us tonight, and I know that Ederson was the only one in the class today to make 100. He always wants to learn. If he does get something wrong, why he's doing it wrong. So he's an amazing student, amazing worker, and we're very glad to have him.
Next we have from the high school level for determination is Liam Barrier, and Craig Styron, principal, is here this evening. And Liam, would you like to say, come on up, we're very proud of you. Would you like to just say a few words about Liam?
Yeah, so thank you, and congrats to Liam. I had my teacher do a write-up, and obviously Ed Hagan is one of the teachers who had done a nice write-up. So what they said about Liam: has a focused, positive attitude about his needs and faces each day with confidence, does not let obstacles prevent him from doing his best, and rises to any challenges he faces. So congratulations, Liam. Congratulations.
That's a great. Okay, those were for the adults. Oh, we don't have any more medals. Okay, we'll get them. Sorry. Okay, for character education for the trait of responsibility, which was for the month of September, we're going to go through that again, elementary, middle, and high school levels. We're going to start with our elementary student, Emma Butler, at Whitnell Elementary School, and Chad Smith's back there clapping already. And Emma's mother tells me that Emma is responsible, and she wants to be a responsible role model for everyone else. And I think that's a very responsible, hefty goal, and we're proud of you. So, congratulations. Okay, for the middle school level, we have Leah Washington. Lisa Vaughn is principal, and Mrs. Vaughn tells me that Leah's family was wrought with a lot of medical situations during this COVID period, and just demonstrated such maturity and such responsibility, not just in maintaining your schoolwork, but in helping your family through that period of time. So we're very proud of you, and congratulations. Yes, sir. Yes, everybody gets a medallion, so we'll make sure it gets sent to your school. I don't know how we got short on that. Okay, so Abigail Braswell is from West Caldwell High School, and Craig Styron, you have to come up again. And I do have a few words about Abigail, but just come up with her, because it's nice to have your principal there supporting you. Her teachers wrote, I know two of her teachers, Miss Miller and Mr. Brigman, they wrote that she is the definition of responsibility, and said, I had her in class for a year, and she demonstrated again and again how she was responsible for her schoolwork and other activities. Whatever role she has, she goes above and beyond. And she has really gone beyond this year. She is the senior class president, and she is right now ranking #1 in her class. So we are very, very proud of you. So let's give Abigail a big round of applause. Let's do all six who are here for the character traits. We'll just combine the months. We'd like to get a picture of you, because we'll post these on our website, and they're there to share with parents and all of your fans.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Jill.
Good job.
So this is an award that never gets old. And David Johnson, who is our now our assistant superintendent for financial services, will probably attest to that. This award never gets old. He has received 2 certificates recently: Excellence in Financial Reporting from the Government Finance Officers Association of the United States and Canada, and Excellence in Financial Reporting by the Association of School Business Officials International. And with those 2 awards, that we've received those for 18 years consecutively. So for the last 18 years, the school district has really earned those awards of financial and fiscal management. David, would you like to come up? So Mr. Johnson is over our finance department. His team is not here tonight. They usually join him, but just keeping as much availability of seating here as possible. I would like to go ahead and announce your team, if that's okay. Okay. So it includes Sarah Smith. She's the internal auditor. Leslie Williams is payroll deduction specialist. Linda Young is payroll specialist. Jamie Setzer is accounts payable specialist. Lindsay Matthews is accounts payable specialist, and Michelle Britton is purchasing specialist. So they do a layman's job, very hardworking, very meticulous and detailed, and that's the kind of people you want in accounting and finances. So congratulations to you, David, and your team. We're very proud of you. We need a picture.
That moment.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
Dave.
Very proud of you. Thank you. Our final award for this evening and this is not an award that we've had for 18 years. This is actually a new award for our district for some time, and it goes to Dr. Jeff Church. So, Dr. Church, if you'd like to join us. He is the Associate Superintendent of Auxiliary Services, and he's also the Athletic Director for the school system. Dr. Church was the recipient of the Charlie Adams Distinguished Service Award, and he was presented the award during a Zoom meeting for Regions 1, 2, 7, and 8, sponsored by the North Carolina High School Athletic Association. And the award is given in memory of longtime NCHSAA Executive Director Charlie Adams for his outstanding contributions to middle and high school athletics. Each region selects one person with at least 10 years of experience in education and athletics who goes above and beyond the call of duty at both the local and the state level. With the exception of 2 years, Dr. Church has served consecutively as district-wide athletic director since 2008. So very deserving reward. He received lots of accolades and accommodations, and he's been very humble about it. He's like, you can't recognize me again. But we are, because we're very proud of you, and congratulations, Dr. Church.
We're so glad that so many of you were here for the honors section of our program. Some of you probably have homework. Some of you probably have other things you need to do, maybe dinner. Now would be an appropriate time for you to slip out if you'd like. Okay, the next item on our agenda is public comment, and at this point, I'd like to turn it over to the Superintendent, Dr. Don Phipps.
I just wanted to read the regulation that we have, 2310R, public participation, public comment at board meeting, the guidelines that we follow. And this simply states, welcome to the Caldwell County Board of Education meeting. We now invite comments during the public comment period of the monthly board meeting. This time is set aside for the board to hear comments on programs, policies, and procedures. The board typically will not respond to the concerns expressed, but please be assured we take all comments under appropriate advisement. To conduct the meeting in an orderly and efficient manner, the following guidelines have been established. Individuals requesting to speak during the public comment period may sign up using the form on the Caldwell County Schools website. The cutoff time to sign up for the public comment period is 9:30 a.m. on the day of the meeting. Groups with common issues are advised to select one spokesperson. Comments must be issue-oriented. Complaints against any employee will not be heard in a public session and should be submitted initially to the superintendent. Proper decorum and civility is expected of all speakers. Speakers must refrain from personal attacks, insults, displays of temper, or abusive language directed at the board, individual board members, staff, or members of the general public. In such cases, the board chair may terminate the speaker's time. To maximize participation, comments will be limited to 3 minutes per speaker. A timer will appear on the screen and an alarm will indicate when the speaker has used their allotted 3 minutes. Speakers may not yield their time to other speakers or trade their time slot with another speaker. And in an effort to ensure the board receives time-sensitive feedback from individuals who wish to share concerns about topics on the agenda, speakers addressing topics and items on the board's monthly meeting will speak first. The chair or designee will invite to the microphone those who are registered to speak. Please begin by stating your full name and home address for the record.
Okay, our first speaker of the evening is Mr. Justin Boyd. Is Justin okay?
I'm going to speak kind of quick because I've got articles and stuff to prove what I'm saying. First of all, I'd like to say my name is Justin Boyd. My address is 4866 Thistle Court, Granite Falls, North Carolina, 28630. I have 4 children in this district that I adopted. I went 0 to 4 overnight. So I'm passionate in what I'm saying. First of all, I want to say thank you for what you are doing. I mean, personally, I love you for what you're doing because this is a hard job. And I mean that with all my heart. But I am going to step on some toes. I'm just going to bring it out. And I'm sorry if it hurt your feelings. I apologize. But at the same time, I got to let the truth be known. First of all, this is breaking the 9th Amendment and the 14th Amendment of the Constitution. This article proves it. Not only that, I look around these walls and I see the forefathers and the Freedom Wall right back here. You know the Constitution. When you take an oath, no offense, Mr. Ford, but I watched you take an oath last time that the meeting went on last time. Anyways, you take an oath to the Constitution, and if it's against the Constitution, there is a possibility of treason. Just saying that. I mean, it's in this article. On top of this tells how many times Dr. Fauci has changed his mind on just mask mandates. And it tells the dates and the times. I did the homework for you, thousands of hours. This article right here tells that, and it's got our beloved CDC, that it's never been isolated. And I've got papers to prove it. So you're more than welcome to look at it. On top of this also says that out of 6 million children that have got COVID, that this article says that almost none have died of COVID in the whole 19 months. So here's some more homework for you. On top of that, what they call the test, it's got a 97% false accurate, and it's got an article in there to the guy that created this test that we have back in 1985, which proves that it was never created for that. It can't distinguish the difference between the flu or the virus, and it was made for gene splicing. Here's some homework on that. The guy that made the test. This right here speaks of, well, I'm going to keep on going. Anyways, in the 2018-2019 flu season, with the flu, over 480 children died of the flu, and that year's season, nobody issued mask mandates, never closed down schools, or anything like that. When children are breathing in masks, or breathing in their fumes and stuff in mask.
Time's up.
Okay.
The alarm just went off. Right
Okay.
there. Okay.
Well, here's some more.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Boyd, for being here. Next speaker is Mrs. Lynette Ramsey.
My name is Lynette Ramsey, and my address is 5140 J.M. Craig Road, Granite Falls. Thank you for allowing us to speak. I'm here tonight to address some concerns pertaining to some policies in your manual and a lack of some policies. These policies pertain to staff, board relations, and transparencies. The first concern that I have is that there is no written policy that I could find anywhere concerning the teaching of CRT. I'm requesting that you make, and I have asked numerous times, that you make a zero tolerance policy regarding the teaching of critical race theory. It is in our schools. I've brought it to your attention. A quick 2-minute Google search will show you the lesson plans that colleges several across the UNC system, including Gardner-Webb, have on how to implement CRT using the book, The Hate U Give. We do not need this trash in our schools. It is not appropriate to wait until after the fact and fix it. Once you've opened Pandora's box, it's open. We need a zero, I'm asking you for a zero tolerance policy for that. In this particular case with this book, a parent actually went to the principal allowed it to continue. You as a board need to stand up and say enough's enough. The second concern that I have is with Policy Code 2010, it talks about board and superintendent relations. And I'm gonna say, I love Dr. Phipps. I've met with him several times, but my problem is with the board. The relevant portion of this policy states, the board further recognizes the distinct and separate areas. The superintendent is responsible for the administration of the school system, consistent with the board's policy. We had a meeting in August where the board voted pursuant to open meeting laws and general statute and your own policies for mask optional. Immediately, and on August 27th, well, not immediately, but on August 27th, after school started, a notice went out after 5 p.m. that day, on a Friday, requiring masks. And in the press release and the statement that went out, the statement that's on your website states, Dr. Phipps stated, having collected data this week and in consultation with board members, it is felt that the steps are necessary. Well, I'm sorry. It's your job as a board to vote on it. Statutes, Senate Bill 654 that passed this year, was signed into law with the government, requires you to vote on it monthly. If you want to require masks, be responsible. Don't step back and let the buck fall on Dr. Phipps. It's not his responsibility, it's yours. Vote on it, be accountable. We vote for you, and that's what we are requiring you to be transparent. Dr. Phipps doesn't make the policy, it's just simple. You do. I want y'all to stand up and do what's right. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Ramsey. Next, Mr. Cam Harmon.
Hello, my name is Cam Harmon. I live at 506 Laurel Creek Drive Northeast, Lenore, North Carolina, in Lenore, North Carolina. Just curious, show of hands, how many people voted for the mask mandate implementation on the board? Was their vote? Okay. Something else. It was said that masks are required on public transportation due to a national mandate. Federal mandate, I'm sorry. Show of hands, who believes that's true? Do you know why it's not? Federal mandates don't apply to local jurisdictions unless they're implemented by that local jurisdiction's government. I always do this. So, unless the actual North Carolina legislation says, hey, this is now part of federal mask mandate public transportation, even then it still doesn't apply to school buses. Do you know why? Are school buses public transportation? No. You guys accrue them for private transportation for our students and staff to their schools. Lynette mentioned Senate Bill 654. It is a mandate. It is actual law for COVID relief for the public schools. It is supposed to be voted on every month. There's been no vote. A lot of this is zero transparency. You guys are good handing out accolades, awards, recognizing community members. That is important. When it comes to dealing with the community and addressing issues that they bring to your table, we need action. We need you to stand up so we know where you stand, so we know if that is the position that we want you in when we vote again. And it's just like the appointment of Mr. Ford. A lot of questions about that. There was no response whatsoever. That doesn't instill confidence by the community members. Whether your reason was right or wrong, tell us something. Sitting there and doing nothing crumbles the integrity for what we voted in, what we believe you should be doing. And show of hands, how many kids actually on the board? How many of you actually have children, not grandchildren, not nephews, not nieces? How many direct children in the school system? But we're supposed to follow the policies that you're implementing with no question. Quick anecdote. I was in the ER. ER doctor's looking at this guy. This happened a few weeks ago. He's got his mask on. He says, you need to get the vaccine. But I wear a mask, I'm safe. Doctor looked straight at him and said, doesn't matter.
Time's up.
The mask does not protect you.
Thank you, Mr. Harmon. I think certainly as Dr. Phipps indicated, start with the board when we hear public comment. We do not respond to whatever public comment is brought at that time. Okay, we're going to move on with the agenda. I'd like to recognize our Associate Superintendent, Dr. Jeff Church, for auxiliary services.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Dr. Phipps, you have one item for your approval tonight, and it's category 7A. It's an agreement for construction manager at risk services, and that is a contract with Hickory Construction Company to provide construction management at risk services. This also contains a statement as to why the Caldwell County Schools selected the construction manager at risk delivery method for our project. I respectfully request the approval as presented.
Okay, do I hear a motion that we approve the agreement for construction management as presented by Dr. Church?
Chairman Pennell, I move that we approve Dr. Church's recommendation for construction management for at-risk services.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, anybody have any questions or comments?
This is just helping relieve our liabilities in these construction projects. Is that correct?
No, this is, we put out a request for qualifications, and
Right.
various construction firms
Okay.
present their qualifications, and we did interview process, and we chose Hickory Construction Company, and we're doing an HVAC project through our ESSER funds. And it's grant funds, a $12 million grant. And so the benefit of using CMAR, or Construction Manager at Risk, we have the contractor along with our design team designing the project. So it's different than design bid build, where you have the designer and then we're working together as a team to develop the project. So that's a different format. Thank you for that question.
Any other questions? Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Church, appreciate it. Next, call on Assistant Superintendent Dr. Bill Griffin, Human Resources Management.
Chairman Pennell, Vice Chair Branch, members of the board, Dr. Phipps. I have several items before you this evening. First is Human Resources usual and customary informational items. These items do not require any action at this time. Category 8, Human Resources, usual and customary action items B. I respectfully request motion to approve usual and customary action items contracts as presented to you this evening.
Okay, do I hear a motion that we approve the Human Resource Services usual and customary action items as it relates to contracts?
I'll make the motion that we approve the Human Resource Services usual and customary action contracts.
Thank you. Yeah, do we have a second?
I second the motion.
Any comments, questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you very much. Subject C, Human Resources Usual and Customary Personnel Action Items. This is our substitute list. I'm pleased to report that I believe we have 16 subs that will be entering our workforce here, hopefully in just a minute. I respectfully request a motion to approve Human Resources Usual and Customary Personnel Action Items, our substitute list as presented this evening.
Okay, do I hear a motion that we approve the Human Resources Usual and Customary Personnel Action Items that you've had a chance to review that relates to substitute list? Is there a motion to that effect?
I move that we approve the substitute list as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
And a special thank you to all 16 of those
Oh,
folks.
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Indeed.
agree with you 100%. They're, we're greatly appreciative of their service. And finally, subject D, October board transfers 2021. Total transfers requested are 8. Transfers recommended for board approval are that of 8. Transfers not recommended are 0, for a total of for the 2021-2022 school year of 1,575. I respectfully request motion to approve October board transfers for the 2021-22 school year as presented.
Do I hear a motion that we approve the October board transfers list for 2021-22 as presented by Dr. Griffin?
I'll make the motion we approve.
Is there a second? Second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you for your support.
Thank you, Dr. Griffin. Next, I'd like to call on our Chief Financial Officer and Assistant Superintendent, Mr. David Johnson.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, board members, Dr. Phipps. Tonight I've got the budget resolution as the first action item I have. General Statute 115C 426 requires us to have a uniform budget adoption. Detailed information was discussed in the October work session. State, these both have, all the funds have matching revenues and expenditures, so we do have certainly a balanced budget. State expenditures of $74,396,407, local $16,877,679. Federal is up quite a bit from previous years, $26,651,781. Capital outlay $19,784,000. Our enterprise funds $8,515,022, and special grants at $5,239,759 to bring the total budget resolution for Caldwell County Schools to $464,648. A lot of sixes and a lot of fours. I apologize. So just like last year, there was not a budget adopted by this time last year, and what happened is DPI posted our initial allotments. These initial allotments are based on last year's numbers adjusted for ADM changes. If no budget compromise is reached, then what you have before you is what will be the budget, exactly what happened last year. If they do reach a compromise and the allocations change, I'll bring those back to you as budget amendments, and we covered that in the work session. For instance, if health insurance increases, then I will bring the allotments that are changed because of that increase back to you as a budget amendment. And I would like to request that the budget amendment, budget resolution be approved as I've submitted.
Do I hear a motion that we approve the budget resolution as presented by Mr. Johnson?
Chairman Pennell, I move that we approve the budget resolution as presented by Mr. Johnson.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any comments or questions? Thank you very much for doing a thorough job in our work session, going over that.
Did you vote?
Huh?
Did you vote?
Any other comments? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Okay, the second thing I have tonight is the annual audit. At the September work session, Mike from Anderson, Smith and White, he had met with the board to discuss the annual audit. At that time, the local government had not received it and provided us any changes or corrections they wanted to make. And as I pointed out at the last work session, there were no changes and the audit was accepted as is. So it's become final and official. And we will post that to the website pending your approval tonight.
Do I hear a motion that we approve the audit that the board has heard from our auditing company? Is there a motion to that effect?
I move that we approve the financial audit for approval for 2020-2021 as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
Comments or questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes.
Make a
Thank
comment, Mr. Chairman.
Sure.
David, I wanted to just ask, I know we had a call today, spoke with Dr. Church about just some misunderstanding of a $190 million number that was floated around last year, and then where we're at in the 150s, and normally we're around 125, give or take a little bit. Can you help the public just understand the differences in the numbers?
Yeah, I'll
and
do
the
my
fact that they're
best.
temporary and where they're coming from?
So last year, our ending budget was approximately 190, I think it was 195 million. We received last year at the end of the year, almost at the end of the year, we received $2.5 million in state coronavirus relief funds. 2.5 million just in state. Also in federal, between CARES and ESSER 1, ESSER 2, and ESSER 3, we received almost 33 million. Last year, some of it's in there this year, but last year in capital outlay, we had 35 million. That was usually more than 35 million more than what we normally would have, and that included 15 million on a needs-based grant, 13 million in county debt proceeds. These were from the borrowing project. Both of those were from the borrowing project, construction project at Granite Falls Middle School, and we also had 6 million appropriated for guaranteed energy project for the train project that was started, a project that was actually started 2 years ago. We had over $500,000 in debt service paid by DPI on our behalf for school buses. So, you know, you start looking at 33 million, 35 million, and 2.5 million, you get from 120 to 170 really quick.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda, turn it over to our superintendent, Dr. Don Phipps.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is the Merlin Mine contract. I'd like to seek your approval for this and wanted to share, we talked about this at the work session. This is a pilot project that we would use some of our COVID funds for technology. It will be an organizer and a help, we hope, in the classroom. And we do hope that these come in and work so well that we come back to you and say this is a staple that we want to use in our classrooms. Spoke to Destin Hall today twice. Right before we came out, he was working with the folks at Merlin Mine, and there's been a little bit of adjustment to the contract and the language. So what I'd like to ask is approval based on the feedback that Destin gives us and not necessarily what's presented here as the attachment. And part of that dealt with liability. And there's always concerns when you're dealing with data breaches and things like that on the side. Destin's always working to protect our interests when we're doing negotiations and contracts, and sometimes it's back and forth between the different parties, but he assured me that he was comfortable with where they were right now, but I don't have that updated version to give to you yet.
Okay, do I hear a motion that we approve the Merlin Mine contract with the contingency that our board attorney has indicated to our superintendent?
I'll make the motion that we approve the Merlin Mine contract. I'd like you to tell the people what that is.
It's a speaker type of a device. It's sort of like an Alexa in the classroom that allows teachers to multitask and be able to use either a remote control to change what's on the display, and it's not tied to a projector or LCD screen or whatever. It's whatever is in the classroom. but a teacher has to queue it up, do the planning that would normally be done, but can be working with the student and then tell the Merlin to open up the presentation on oceans, and it pops up for them. Can tell them to fast forward to 1:35 in the video, and all of that happens without the teacher having to go back to the computer and do that work. So we feel like it's a way to help a teacher work more efficiently. It certainly involves a lot of planning because you have to have those pieces in place. But we're piloting about 50 devices, and we want to see how that works and then determine if it's a bigger commitment that we want to make after that.
Okay, do we have a second?
I second the motion. And I just want to say, the presentation was awesome on this. So it just keeps the teacher's eyes on the students. If a kid asks a detailed kind of question the teacher's not able to answer off the top of their head, but they want to satisfy the student, it can Google it, like how Alexa or Siri can do those kind of things. And I think it's just awesome that we're going to be able to get this started, the ground floor with this company.
At a reduced rate.
Yeah, the very reduced rate.
It's wonderful. Great.
Any other questions? More comments? Okay, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And motion passes. Thank you, Dr. Phipps. Next item on the agenda is we need a motion to convene to closed session. Do I hear a motion to that effect?
Chairman Penland, I move that we convene to closed session to discuss confidential personnel items as listed on our current agenda.
Is there a second?
Awesome.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay, we have any other items? Anyone? Dr. Phipps?
Yes, sir.
Hearing none, do I hear a motion we adjourn?
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We are adjourned. Everybody have a great evening.